Hello and welcome as we continue this journey toward the 11th Sunday after Pentecost 2021. Today we'll be looking at the Psalm for Sunday, which is Psalm number 34, verses 1 through 8. So let me first read for you the Psalm and then share some of the reflections that I've gathered for today. I will bless the Lord at all times. The praise of God shall ever be in my mouth. I will glory in the Lord. Let the lowly hear and rejoice. Proclaim with me the greatness of the Lord. Let us exalt God's name together. I sought the Lord who answered me and delivered me from all my terrors. Look upon the Lord and be radiant, and let not your faces be ashamed. I called in my affliction, and the Lord heard me and saved me from all my troubles. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear the Lord and delivers them. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Happy are they who take refuge in God. Here ends the psalm. Thanks be to God. Have you ever heard a song from the past that has evoked memories, whether good or bad? I would imagine you have. I know I have. I'm a child of the 60s and 70s, so the music I listen to may differ from the music that you listen to. Still, certain songs can bring back memories. My time with my family at home, as well as memories with childhood friends, college friends, and even seminary friends. Some of the music that we hear or sing in worship can also evoke memories, some good and honestly some not so good. There are certain hymns and songs that are used for funerals and memorial services, which under other circumstances would evoke good memories. And now maybe they evoke some sad memories because of the memory of the loss of the loved one that goes along with hearing that song. But today's reading reminded me of one song that evokes memories of youth gatherings, both state and national, that I attended as a youth pastor. And no, I'm not going to sing it for you. You would shut down this video immediately. Although I would like to read the lyrics for you, and you can see if it sounds like maybe it was influenced by today's reading. And typically, the crowd of teenagers, along with some adult chaperones, sang it in a round. So as I read the lyrics, use your best imagination, and if you feel like singing it at home, feel free. The song is titled, I Will Call Upon the Lord, and here are the lyrics spoken, not sung. I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies. The Lord liveth, and blessed be the rock, and let the God of my salvation be exalted. The Psalms were often set to music and sung during worship, and perhaps Psalm 34 is a poem that is set to music or set to song. Maybe it's served in some way like that for the people of God, invoking memories. Perhaps it evoked both good and sad or bad memories, and times when God was there for them, times when it didn't feel like God was there for them, and yet it allowed them to exalt the God of their salvation. Verse 1 of today's reading says, I will bless the Lord at all times. The praise of God shall ever be in my mouth. I would imagine we all know from personal experience that it's not easy to bless the Lord during the difficult times. It's not easy to praise the Lord when we're suffering. The people of Israel, wandering in the desert after the Exodus, hungry, grumbling. It would have been better to die in Egypt next to the flesh pots than starve to death out here. That might not have come across as blessing and praising the Lord. If we were to set all of our experiences, both good and bad, maybe one on top of the other like layers, and we did a kind of a compare and contrast examination of the different layers, what would we find? Well, we might see layers where God's grace covered the hard places, and where God's presence brushed up against disappointment and personal pain. And there would be places in there where things ran smoothly and it looked very beautiful. What would it mean to bless the Lord at all times, with praise ever in our mouths, continually praising coming out of our mouth? Is verse 1 of today's reading even realistic? Or does it require some kind of reorientation of thought and our actions? Do any of us go around through each 24-hour day reflecting on God's activity in the day-to-day events of our individual lives? I admit, I think God has better and much more important things to do than spend all that time on my individual day-to-day life. I just don't feel that important that I need, or God needs to be in on every event. Maybe you feel differently. Pre-pandemic, we had a Wednesday evening study during our Lenten time on prayer. And I learned that just in our small circle of attendees, 18 or so people, there were a wide variety of approaches toward prayer. From spending the whole day talking to God throughout each and every day, to turning to God only when the need was so great that we could not handle it ourselves. The whole spectrum and gamut, everywhere in between. So one thing I hold to be true is that there's no one right way to pray and converse with God. One commentator suggests that the most honest prayer to God is lament, as it pours out our pain and our struggles. And he also noted that religious institutions seem to teach us to avoid complaining to God. Although verses 4 through 6 of today's reading appear to say the opposite, that we need to complain to God and cry out to God for rescue. Listen again. I sought the Lord, who answered me and delivered me from all my terrors. Let not your faces be ashamed. I called in my affliction, and the Lord heard me and saved me from all my troubles. That doesn't sound like we should only pray happy thoughts. This sounds like encouragement. Cry out to God from the depths of despair. Verses 7 and 8a, the first part of 8, read, "The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear the Lord and delivers them. Taste and see that the Lord is good." And this reminds me of Sunday's first reading that I covered in yesterday's video, where Elijah is in fear for his life and he escapes into the wilderness asking to die. He says, I'm done. I want to die. An angel of the Lord encamps around Elijah, bringing him food to sustain him for the remainder of his journey. He's not done yet. Taste and see, says the psalm. In 1 Kings 19, from that first reading for Sunday, the angel tells Elijah, get up and eat. Otherwise, the journey will be too much for you. Having a healthy respect or an awestruck view of God is often translated as fear of the Lord in our English Bibles. And perhaps fear is less than helpful for those who find themselves in dire straits. Who would cry out to God if they were afraid of what God might do to them? Yet, one who finds herself or himself in dire straits could eagerly cry out to an awesome God from the depths of despair. So here's another song from my youth pastor days that this idea brings to mind, for me at least. So let me leave you with this song in your minds. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above. With wisdom, power, and love, our God is an awesome God. Thank you for joining me again today as we continue this journey toward the 11th Sunday after Pentecost, August the 8th, 2021. And if you have a thought or a question even or a concern, feel free to leave it in the comment section below this video. I hope you're having a great day. Take care. God bless.